Hi everyone, Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com and PicksandParlays.net. It's Friday, June 14th, 2019. Here was free live picks. Of course, we're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our best bet's always over at SportsChatExperts.com as well as PicksandParlays.net. Of course, NBA is over. Next thing that we have to talk about in the NBA is the NBA draft. Of course, also some big trades coming up on the way. We know that. Anthony Davis likely on the move. Where will he end up? Will it be Los Angeles? Will it be Boston? Will it be New York? Will it be somewhere else? Who the hell knows? We'll know soon enough. And of course, they want to do it before the NBA draft. Is obviously they got some guys that they are looking at in this draft that they like. And I'll tell you, I like this NBA draft too. But of course, we got free picks every single day. Our best bet's always over at Sports Chat Experts and PicksandParlays.net. I think one thing that we learned in this series, this NBA Final Series, and two things, three things. We learned a lot in this NBA series. Number one, that the super team isn't all that it's cracked up to be, because all that it takes is a couple injuries, and you don't have the depth to compete against a team that you're going to play in the NBA Finals. So that's really what happened in that one, is that, you lose your two of your guys that are your, part of your super team. And you lose two of the guys that are part of your super team, and all of a sudden the story changes because your depth is just, it doesn't stack up against the other team. Also, the discussion of Kevin Durant and LeBron James and all that other stuff, where these guys, rank in history, the greatest of all time or the greatest right now. Kawhi Leonard is clearly the best player in the NBA right now. It's amazing. And, DeMar DeRozan feeling disrespected by being traded to the Spurs before the season started. I don't think the Raptors care anymore. And I think that, it's an amazing story on so many levels. That the Raptors get it done. This was a team that started the NBA season red hot, and then ended up losing that home court advantage to the Bucks, and then beat them in the playoffs, which was no small feat in itself. Yeah, David Combest was commenting on my video. Meanwhile, he spammed my group. So he's on my list, man. Put a link for another group in my group and thinks it's okay. Or that I'm just going to forget about it. You guys know that ain't going to happen. Anyways, we do free picks. Had everyone from the 305, our normal guys getting together. Who you guys like in the golf? I love that. I'm not from Chicago. I just lived in Chicago. I'm from Miami, Florida, originally. I lived in Chicago in the Gold Coast, State and Oak, for about 8 or 9 years. But I'm from Miami, Florida. I'm from the 305 too. And the guys know it, because I'm a huge Canes fan, and the only people who are Canes fans are from Miami. It's pretty much the way that works. I know that when they win the national championship in a year or two, there'll be a lot more Canes fans. But the real Canes fans, the ones that are out there, you're pretty much from Miami. If you're a Canes fan, it's just the way it is. That is what it is. So yeah, I'm not from Chicago. I live there, and I do love Chicago. Yeah, the dog of the day has been pretty decent. But anyways, let's start getting into some picks here. Of course, if you're watching this, if you could hit the thumbs up, greatly appreciated. So, I didn't give this out as a premium pick because I thought the line was just a little too high, but I do like the Rays against the Angels. Yeah, Parker Smith said the Warriors broke them yesterday. I gave out the Raptors as a premium pick, and I said take them on the money line as well. So No sympathy there. But anyways, I'm gonna take the Rays here on the show with a free pick. To me, I don't like these big lines, and that's just what it is for me. Heaney has not pitched well, but we're gonna take the Rays minus 169. So the Cardinals and the Mets, we got screwed yesterday, right? Because the Mets, they gave up the runs to the bullpen again, and I had the Mets yesterday. And then the game ends up getting postponed at 4-4. If the Mets bullpen doesn't give up those runs, they stop the game and the Mets win, right? We get the win. You get the win on games like that, but you don't get run lines or totals. So, it's something that comes up in our Facebook groups and on questions all the time about what happens with games that are stopped or suspended or postponed and things like that. Generally, if it's gone an official game past 5 innings, the side, just the regular side, will pay or be graded as a loss if it is a loss. But totals and run line plays generally are no action at that point. And that's what's happened in this one. But anyways, we got Steven Matz against Daniel Ponce de Leon. I like the under 8.5 in the Mets cards. Remember Ponce de Leon, his first time out, he almost threw the no-hitter in like his first game ever. He's still pretty good. They don't use him a ton. I think they're trying to bring him up slowly. Got a lot of really, really big lines here today. So it makes it extremely difficult. Let's go with the Rockies over the Padres. Hoffman has not been good, but I like the Rockies at home. I like the way that they've been playing. We'll take them here at minus $1.25. And I also like the Mariners at plus 165 at Oakland. And I know Oakland's been pretty good and the Mariners have been terrible. But I don't know. Marco Gonzalez is a guy that I probably have lost the second most amount of money on him over the last 3 or 4 years than any other pitcher out there. He's one of those guys that doesn't throw the ball hard. So it always makes it really hard for me to bet on him. But not betting on him has certainly cost me some money. I like the over 8 in the Blue Jays Astros game. Jarrett Cole seems to always give up at least a couple of runs, and they always seem to be at the same time. And of course, Aaron Sanchez, he gives up plenty of runs, so we don't have to worry about that side of it. I also like the over. I don't love that one. We'll skip that one. So the coin, the Lucky Penny lost yesterday, so we're 16-5 on the Lucky Penny. Let's do Braves Phillies. So head is Braves, Max Fried, Nick Pivetta and the Phils on his tails. Of course, our 1995 Lincoln. It's heads. It's the Atlanta Braves with Max Fried. The penny, like I said, 16-5 going into the flip. So he took the Braves minus 141. And that's the coin flip, and it's 16-5. Of course, our best bet's always over at Sports Chat Experts and Picks and Parlays. Anyways, we took the Rays minus 169, the under 8.5 in the Mets Cardinals game, the Rockies minus 125, the Mariners plus 165. I just think that's a value play. Over 8 in the Blue Jays Astros, and the Lucky Penny, the 1995 Lincoln. Atlanta Braves at home minus 141. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. See you guys tomorrow.